I had a near-death experience. The crickets melted into one sound that night. It sounded like the flat line on a vital monitor in an ambulance. The industrial AC sounded like my frames per second dropping down to zero. I saw the end of humanity. Everyone who ever existed or will is here in this tunnel, formed out of their bodies in this black, just nothingness. They formed out of a tube out of the rest of humanity, and they aren't wearing any skin. The outside is just humans with their backs turned toward me, muscles exposed. One of them turned towards me, spinning around, and is now facing me. Still just muscle. They told me that the only way humans made it to the end of everything is because we rose together, or else we would have fallen apart. However, there was nothing else to do at this point. The universe, everything, was ending. It was the end of it all. They allowed me to enter the entirety of this tunnel of humanity and began to let me become part of them. Now, as I'm looking inward towards this tube, I look left and I look right, and it goes on for infinity both ways. We're all connected, holding each other so tightly together that not even the void of space could penetrate us. But it's still the end. So as I'm digesting what's happening, the human next to me looks at me and says, if this is the last breath of humanity, we'll be taking it together. By this point, I had accepted what's going on by now, and so I take one final big deep breath along with every other human at the end of the universe, and we all exhale as everything fades to dark. Suddenly, there was nothing. It wasn't long, it wasn't forever, it wasn't infinite, it was just blank. It was nothingness. Like trying to remember what it was like before you were born. Then, after possibly eons of nothing, a void, a total absence of everything, including time itself, I remember just taking a breath, my first breath. It was almost unfamiliar. I remember thinking ever so slightly. I remember questioning, was that a breath? And then it happened again. I felt the second one. And then I remembered that I actually used to be alive, but I died. And I thought to myself, no way. It's impossible that I'm breathing. I died. I thought, let me try and see if I can do it a third time. If I can take a third breath, I'm not dead. I took my third breath, and everyone ever since, even if I type this, my first thoughts were that we could be anything. We could be farmers, race car drivers, parents, mechanics, CEOs. We can do stuff. We're not dead yet. This is not the end. Humans have what it takes to make it to the end of everything. So we just have to basically rewire ourselves. Anything is possible as long as we draw that breath. As long as we breathe, we can attempt to achieve anything because it's not over yet. As long as it's not over yet for all of us, it's not over for any of us. You feel me?